Hi everyone, this is Marcia Jeans and I am home for a snow day today, and I thought I'd make good use of my time and make a little video about a fabulous math resource that I think you should know about. It's by McGraw Hill, and it is basically virtual manipulatives, and there are so many cool things you can do with this website. The URL is actually pretty long, so I created a short one for you so that it'll be easy for you to get to it and also your students. So the regular URL is really long and it would be hard to type in, but the short one is just tinyurl.com/ENES math. So that stands for Enterprise Elementary School, just for you teachers. So you can type that in and you can get to the website. Now, what I like about it is it has virtual manipulatives, and it has a lot of really neat things that you can use to help enhance your math lessons. You can use it on a smart board, or I know some schools have Promethean boards, so it works really well with that. And there's a lot of great tools. So I'm just going to show you some of them. I know a lot of people are focusing on fractions right now, so I'm going to show you a couple of the different things you can do with fractions. So let's look at the manipulatives. And here's a list of all the different kinds of manipulatives. So if I keep clicking down here, we have fraction circles and fraction tiles. So if I click on fraction circles, okay, so I've got the fraction circles, and some of the manipulatives have a little container. So if I click and drag this over, basically it's a container in which some of these fraction parts can go into. So let's just say that you're in kindergarten and you're just working on naming fractions. I can grab a piece and plop it over here, and I can grab another piece and plop it in there, and now I've got a half and a half. I can take things out and drag them out. I can put multiple objects here, so if I wanted to do fourths, I can do fourths, and then I can grab maybe I need to grab another one here and a half. You can mix them like that. There is a pen that's included, so if you wanted the students to write the name of a fraction, you could say, have them write this one. This is 1/2. Of course, there's different color pens. If you wanted to get different colors, of course, you can write with that. Now, to clear the objects, down at the bottom, there's some icons, and one of them is clear objects, and it just clears them all out. So I think you'll like the fractions. They could be used for a variety of things. Now, if you're looking at perhaps maybe teaching students how to add fractions, you might look at the other fraction, which fraction tile. So fraction tiles, again, has a container, so you could do some comparing fractions. For example, if you were doing fractions greater than and less than or something, you could put, let's compare 1/2 to 1/3. And then you can line them up, and then you can have the kids, which one is greater. So you can compare. If you're adding fractions, you can do that as well. So if you're saying, okay, I have 1/3 plus another third, how many thirds do I have? I have 2/3. And if you're doing mixed, you could say, okay, we need to try to find a common denominator for these. And, you could come over here and you could say, okay, I've got 2/3, and that could be the same as 4/6. And you can put them right on top of each other if you want to. So I think you'll really, really like the fractions. There's some other tools down here at the bottom, so I'm going to clear that out. I'd like to show you. There's a hand tool, and that's like if you want to move objects around. If you're on a pen and you want to get off of the pen, because every time you touch the board it's going to be a pen mark, you would come back to the hand tool. There's a straight line tool, so if you want to just draw some straight lines for some reason. There's that. There is a nice little ruler, and you can switch it from metric back to standard and remove it there. There is a stopwatch. Let me get rid of that drawing tool so you can see that. So you've got a stopwatch, so you may use that for a variety of things. And you've got a protractor, and you can drag this and show different angles. Pretty slick. Look at that. And there's also a timer. You can also, I'll show you in a minute, there's some backgrounds that you can pick and you can remove. So if you just want to get rid of one object instead of all of them, you just take it and drag it right on down to the trash can down at the bottom, and then it disappears. All right, let me show you some other things that you might like as well. So again, there's a whole bunch of absolutely fabulous manipulatives. Which one shall I show you? Oh, here's bears in a boat. Now, of course, this kind of looks, very, very kindergartenish, but if you're teaching fractions, you could take the boat out and you could put some bears in it. Look how they kind of sit on the boat. It's kind of cute. And you could say, come on. You could say, can you name the fraction of the bears that are blue? Or can you put bears in the boat to represent a certain fraction? For example, 1/2. Can you have half of the bears in the boat that are red? And of course you can use it for counting, you can use it for addition, subtraction, all sorts of things. I'm going to clear that one out. And you'll see there's just a wide variety. There's attribute blocks, algebra tiles, even the connecting cubes. I love these. These could be used for some, patterns. You take them out, and they kind of look like they just connect right next to each other. And right here, when you click on one, I can change the color instantly. Okay, so I can change the color on the connecting cubes. All right. Now, there's just lots more to choose from here, but I'm also going to show you some of the backgrounds. It's got some game boards, but those are kind of specific for McGraw Hill. There's some storyboards, but I like the work mats are really amazing. There's a lot of really neat work mats. For example, if you just want a grid, voila. And if I need to get rid of it, there's something called remove background. All right, let me show you a couple other ones just so you can take a gander at what there is. There's hundreds charts. Oh, if you're working on, there's number lines, but there's also an interactive number line under the manipulatives. Here's an in and out table, like a function machine. That's really good. And look at a few more. Oh, here's a place value. Let's just go to millions. Voila. So you could have kids come up here and write, and then it's very simple. Now, if you were writing on it, let me just show you what this would look like. If I was writing some numbers, and I just wanted to get rid of the numbers and not everything else. Go back to the hand, clear the objects. And now the objects disappear, but the background doesn't. So you're ready for the next problem. Okay, well, I hope you enjoy exploring this resource, and I think it'll be great for you to use in your classroom for a wide variety of things. Keep in mind, you could have kids on the laptops using this while you're teaching the lesson, and you could have them demonstrate their knowledge of concepts as you're using it up on the smartboard. Just FYI, it does not work on iPads because it requires flash, and anything that has, is flash-based doesn't work on iPads. So enjoy.